Tuesday to you. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan along with our meteorologist Sean Ash is here. After another round of snow last night, we are timing out already on Tuesday, another round of winter.
Yeah, and look, I mean, in what we had last night, early this morning, was proof positive. It only takes a coating of snow when temperatures are this cold to make those roads a little messy.
Right.
And so we've got a couple of more to contend with. I will tell you right off the bat, the real heavy snow, that's going to be south of the Ohio River. I want to show you those winter storm warnings that remain up. Basically, the cold air has just shoved everything south. And so it does not mean that we're going to miss out on impacts. It just shows you Kentucky, Missouri, southern Illinois, parts of Arkansas, northern Tennessee. That's where the significant travel impacts are going to be felt here. But we will be watching a couple of more waves of light but disruptive snow. But yes, this is the real heavy stuff there. 6 to 12 over central and southern Missouri, 5 to 8 into central western Kentucky, and as close as Evansville, some 3 to 6 on the table. There's those major impacts that we're talking about with the snowfall. But in Indiana, over the next 72 hours, we're going to have, at times, disruptive conditions on our roadways. Not this afternoon. We're in good shape here. It's just chilly. 13 with the wind chill right now, remaining in the single digits. Kids getting home from school today, it's still going to be blustery cold. We'll call it partly sunny, north wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. There goes that departing area of light snow that we had overnight early in the morning here. Our focus this afternoon, and as you get home, is going to be these wind chills. And they're going to go back down to sub-zero area-wide by tomorrow morning. We got to talk about some snow tonight, and then more snow on tap for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, coming up in the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Sean. We'll check back. In the meantime, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. The Mooresville High School senior charged with planning a mass shooting on campus during the lunch hour on Valentine's Day last Friday. We learned today will now remain in custody at the Morgan County Jail while a judge decides the bail. This is 18-year-old Trinity Shockley leaving the Morgan County Courthouse after that bail review hearing just this morning. The prosecution in the case is asking for a very high $500,000 surety bond plus a $250,000 cash bond for Trinity Shockley. The prosecution presented evidence of Shockley's plans for that shooting, an infatuation allegedly with mass shooters. The prosecution argues that Shockley is a threat to the community. Shockley is facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder and intimidation with the threat to commit terrorism. The defense argues the allegations against Shockley are all words and should follow a much lower standard bond. We'll keep an eye on it. And now at noon today, unfortunately, we learned this morning that a pedestrian is dead. This person was hit downtown in Indianapolis early this morning. Officers say they were called to the scene just before 8 o'clock this morning. It happened at this intersection near West Michigan and North Illinois. That's where police tell us they found a woman dead in the road with traumatic injuries. IMPD tells us that the driver responsible for hitting the woman left the scene. So now they're working with witnesses to track down that driver.
And if you are involved in something like this, you need to remain at the scene. It's just not worth fleeing and hoping that you're going to get away with it, because our detectives will find you and we will hold you accountable for your actions.
This afternoon, fatal crash investigators are out on the scene taking measurements, collecting evidence. As we learn more, we'll bring it to you. Also right now, Metro Police are investigating on the city's Far East Side after a double shooting late last night. Police tell us that they found a man and a teenage girl at a laundromat along 38th Street near Midhofer. They believe the man was picking up the girl and her friend for a ride share. That's when two people approached the car and tried to carjack the rideshare driver. Investigators say he tried to pull away when the suspects then shot at him. They hit the man and hit one of the teens inside the car. We're told the man and the teen are expected to be okay. And so this afternoon, the investigation is underway, and we're working to learn if IMPD has identified any suspects in this shooting. Now to new details surrounding this fire at the Church of Living God on the city's Far East Side. Fire investigators believe it was accidental, and now they say it was likely caused by an overloaded power strip there. This happened yesterday afternoon around 1 near 38th and Shadeland. Fire crews rushed to the scene and found big flames and black smoke after several people called 911. It took about 2 hours and 50 minutes for a slew of firefighters to get it under control in the brutally cold temperatures yesterday. Fortunately, nobody was there and nobody inside that building was hurt, and the firefighters also are okay. Today, we now know the name of a 24-year-old woman who was found dead on the near north side. We first told you this story yesterday right here at noon. Police say that they found Tyresha Gray during a welfare check at that home. They went there at 8:45 Sunday. The home is near Park Avenue, near 16th and Central. Investigators say the woman suffered trauma. So now we're working to learn if IMPD have any suspects in the case. If you know anything about it, you're urged to call police, or you can also call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Months now of packages piling up, thousands of them jammed at the U.S. Postal Service hub here in Indianapolis. And now we're learning about issues and investigations similar to this at other facilities across the country. Lauren Kostick tells us what we could see here if these issues aren't soon resolved.
Last August, the Office of the Inspector General for USPS released this audit of Atlanta's postal distribution hub. The report cited issues with staffing and supervision, recommending 7 changes, including facility-specific training and more managerial hires. Similar audits were also done in Richmond, Virginia, and Houston, Texas. All of these facilities part of the Postmaster General's restructuring plan, consolidating local offices into massive hubs known as regional processing and distribution centers. The one on Indy's east side is also part of this rollout. Within the last 2 months, 13 News has received hundreds of complaints of packages being delayed weeks and even months. This video provided to 13 News shows the backlog that workers say is only getting worse. And now every member of Indiana's congressional delegation is demanding an explanation and a solution.
Everyone signed on the letter, Democrats and Republicans, every district across Indiana in Congress. We want an answer, we want a fix, timely.
Leaders in Louisville and Jacksonville have also sent similar letters about issues happening in their cities. A Postal Service representative said the agency will respond to the Indiana delegation directly, but it's not clear when. In the meantime, packages and complaints continue to pile up.
That was our Lauren Kostick reporting, and she tells us that she has learned that these issues are not resolved at the facility here in Indianapolis. We potentially could see an audit here down the road. We promise you, Lauren Kostick's going to stay on this story, and we'll bring you developments as she learns them. Right now at the Indiana State House, the session is underway. The House is in session and they're looking at dozens of bills. Today, state representatives are expected to look at least 30 bills for a second and even a third read. One of them includes the ban on transgender women in sports in the state of Indiana. That is a session that started at 11 this morning, about an hour underway. The state Senate goes into session this afternoon at 1:30. It also has a number of bills on second and third reads. And one of the bills that senators are looking at right now is the Medicaid Matters bill. That puts a cap on the number of people who can enroll in the Healthy Indiana plan. The deadline for bills on third read is this Thursday, so things are wrapping up. Emily Longnecker will report live from the State House as our coverage continues here on 13 News this afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock. The immigration debate is a key issue this legislative session as well. This debate is intensifying as lawmakers focus on how local law enforcement and employers should interact with undocumented immigrants. Right now, under House Bill 1531, schools no longer have to report the immigration status of their students. However, counties and local law enforcement would be forced to stand by the federal immigration laws. So there's a conflict there. This bill gives more authority to the Attorney General to bring civil penalties to anyone who does not cooperate with ICE. Now, recently, Indiana's Todd Rokita, Attorney General, filed lawsuits against 2 counties here. The JZ's office faced tough questions about undocumented migrants here in Indiana.
From our perspective, right now, because the state is not collecting data on the number of migrants coming into the state and what immigration classification they fall into, we really are left relying heavily on anecdotal evidence about how this is affecting people.
This bill also creates penalties for employers who hire undocumented immigrants and without properly vetting their status first.